Hi, Chef Matt here. It's summertime, that means grilling, and let's talk about fish. I know it can be intimidating to grill fish, but I want to get you comfortable with grilling fish because it is so delicious. So let's get started. So I have three of my favorite pieces of fish here. We've got Chilean sea bass, Scottish salmon, and wild Alaskan halibut. Some of my favorite seasonings, I start with some kosher salt, this is ancho chili, granulated garlic, and then just a little bit of fresh ground white pepper. So I'm going to start by seasoning the underside or the skin side of the fish first. So all these, again, nice and evenly with the kosher salt. I don't like shakers for things. I like to feel things in my hands. Make sure your fingers are really dry. So again, we're going to do each one of these with a little bit of kosher salt, a little bit of ancho, and then a little bit of garlic. And then just a little grind of some fresh cracked white pepper. Turn those over and then just do the presentation side. This one's a little thick on the one side, so I'm going to actually give it a little bit of seasoning. You know, again, you got to use your best judgment. This is a pretty thick piece of salmon, so you can actually hit it a little bit on the sides as well as the top. Again, nice and even. Don't be shy with these seasonings. They work on just about everything. I love it on fish. You know, some people would argue, oh, is it maybe a little too strong for fish? I don't find it is. It also, as you'll see on the grill, it gives a really nice kind of crust for the fish. And again, a little bit of white pepper. And then, here's my secret weapon here, so that nothing sticks on the grill. Just a little bit of non-stick spray. Okay? Doesn't really cause any flavor transfer or anything. It just really allows you to get great grill marks without the fish sticking, and just really simply with tongs. Let's go. So the grill's nice and hot. I have the grill cranked up. It's been going for about a half hour, so it's nice and hot. A couple chips of wood. We've got our fish. We are ready to grill. So let's get going. These are roughly around the same thickness, so I can cook these at the same time. Again, we want to put these at about a 45-degree angle. Nice and hot, you can hear that sizzle. We'll let them cook for a couple minutes and then we'll turn them 45 degrees. So they're starting to look really good. Again, see, there's no sticking whatsoever. I always have a spatula with me just in case I need that. But it's one of the reasons why I like to grill fish with the skin. The salmon typically will hold together pretty well, but these other two fish, especially halibut, is very, very delicate. But as you can see, we're not going to cook this very long. When you buy great seafood, it's okay that it's a little underdone inside. There's nothing wrong with that, but always buy great seafood. So cooking anything on the grill is about timing. It's one of the reasons. Yes, it makes nice grill marks when you move it back and forth, but it's really about timing. 2 minutes, turning it over, and just keeping it the same when you cook, okay? So I want to show you, again, this is really what the spices do, but it creates just a beautiful kind of a crust so it doesn't stick to the grill, and that was because of the spray, but also because of the spices. So we're going to turn that over. We're going to turn our halibut over. I mean, it just cooks beautifully. You see, you just get these really nice, gentle marks. Close it back up, another 2 minutes, we'll turn, and we just really want to control the heat. So I've turned it down to just slightly over medium at this point. So now we want to do our final turn. So again, the halibut is very delicate, so we want to really make sure. I like to eat that kind of medium rare. Same thing with salmon. Now this Chilean sea bass, as you can see, it's got kind of a pretty thick side and a thinner side. So what I want to do on this last turn is actually, I'm not just going to kind of stand it up, okay, and roast it the rest of the way there. Again, we're really controlling the way that that the fish is cooking, okay? Might even turn it down just a little bit more. And now we're just going to kind of let it finish here. Again, we're getting a little bit of smoke from the couple pieces of wood we have in the back. So I want to show you what you look for doneness. You know, with the salmon, you can see we're just starting to get a little bit of this white that's coming out of the fish. That's protein mixing with the water, and it's coagulating, so it's totally ready. So I want to pull that off first, okay? And it's okay to let it rest. This, you can see it's just, you touch it with the tongs, and the halibut is still just has a little bit of give to it still. We want to let that go. And you can see we've got just a little bit of fire coming here, and that's from the Chilean sea bass. The Chilean sea bass and the salmon have a lot of fat, so they will give off a little bit of fat, creating some flame. So just move it off to the side. So we're probably about a minute from being done, and what I want to do now is really just, I'm going to turn this off. Again, controlling your heat, and we'll just let it finish for about another minute in there before I pull it off. One thing to notice, I always have a special with me, but typically if you cook the fish correctly, it won't fall apart. Again, the skin helps that too. So what I like to do is grab the fish, turn it to the side, lift it, and then plate it, okay? So we've got 3 beautifully cooked pieces of fish here. On the Chilean sea bass, you can see that it just starts to split, and that's when you know it's done. Same thing with the halibut. Again, it's got just a little bit of give, okay? The salmon, the same thing. And they're cooked perfectly. You know, we got nice grill marks on here, and that's really a combination of those dry spices and seasonings and that little bit of spray. Nothing sticks. Super simple, super easy. Get comfortable with cooking fish.